Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maize Madman. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, hit that like button, share this with your friends and family on social media, and of course, subscribe. Tonight, we finally got the news we've been waiting for. We're going to talk about it. Plus, the #1 running back in the portal could be a Wolverine. All that, and of course, I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro, man. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Ladies and gentlemen, my grandmother used to say to me, patience is a virtue. And sometimes you just got to wait for it. The good thing is there. You just have to wait for it. And in this case, Michigan's patience paid off. The fans' patience paid off. Damon Payne Jr. is a Wolverine. It's official. Earlier in the day, 9:30 a.m. today, there was some question as to whether or not Mr. Payne was a Wolverine or not. We got the early committed, indication on the app formerly known as Twitter from those who will not be named. And then there was some jumping of the gun. By the way, I was one of those people. I didn't do a video because I was like, let me check some other sources. But I did put up the post, and that was premature. Now, granted, afterwards, I did rectify that situation. By the way, that post is still up, by the way. And that's just for transparency's sake, because I don't want to look like, I'm right all the time. I'm definitely not. And I did put up the post to rectify that situation. But anyway, forget that. It is official now. Me and Rick came to celebrate. Ric Flair, let's go.
Woo! I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Woo!
As we all know, one Mr. Damon Payne Jr. from Michigan, right down the road, former Belleville high school standout, former 5-star standout, committed initially to Alabama, where he's been there. He entered the transfer portal after this regular season, and now he's a Wolverine back home, and it feels so good. As I said before, former 5-star defensive lineman out of Belleville High School, absolute monster coming out of high school. It's a shame during that time he didn't really give Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, the time of day, really. It was never really like Michigan was fully into that thing coming out of high school, but it doesn't matter now because he is a Wolverine now. 6'4", 313 pounds. This is going to be a welcome addition, of course, because Michigan is losing All-American, the best defensive tackle in the country, in Mr. Mason Graham. However, having somebody like Damon Payne Jr. to fill that void could be massive. Also, don't forget, Kenneth Grant to this point is undecided. Hopefully he does, run it back for one more year. But again, we need to wait and see with that situation. There are some packages being put together. I do know that. I can speak on that to try and lure him or keep him with the Wolverines for one final year. But we'll see how it turns out in the end. But right now, Damon Payne Jr. is a Wolverine. One more time, Rick.
Woo! I'm the best there is. Woo!
I told you it wasn't just Damon Payne that Michigan was, in the running for. Number 1 running back in the class, Mr. Justice Haynes, also from Alabama, or, in the transfer portal from Alabama, is also thought to be a Michigan, let me not say a Michigan lean. Michigan is very much in this fight. Let me say that because he had a very good relationship with Michigan running back coach Tony Alford, who was at that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus at the time, the other state. And he's kept that relationship. And now it looks like Mr. Alford may be able to cash in on that relationship and get Justice Haynes to A2. Haynes, 5'11", 210-pounder, absolute monster himself, hard runner. I remember the game against Missouri where he completely trucked a linebacker like he wasn't there and kept it moving. This would be a massive get. He is a 4-star coming out of the portal. He was a 4-star coming out of high school. This would be as big as getting Damon Payne Jr., maybe even bigger. Of course, don't forget that DeQuan Finn was on campus. Michigan trying to get that kind of bridge quarterback to stead the way until Bryce Underwood is ready to take over. And maybe Bryce Underwood is ready to take over game 1, but at least he'll have to work for it. We'll see how it goes. Speaking of Bryce Underwood, those guys, including Bryce Underwood, those early signees, are able to practice starting tomorrow, Thursday. So that is a great thing. We'll keep you posted on that because I'm sure camp information is going to be leaking out. It's way too juicy not to. We'll keep you posted. Keep it locked right here to the Maize Madman channel for that. Justice Haynes will give you updates as we get them regarding him as well. But right now, Damon Payne Jr. is a Wolverine. One last time, Rick.
Woo! I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Woo!
Be sure to let me know how you feel in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Also, follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. And if you haven't already, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Also, become a member if you haven't already. Some great perks in there, including the Avengers multicast kind of lives that we will be doing with Johnny Olden Jr. and the guys over at Voice of College Football Michigan. Until next time, stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. Now, ladies, we're about to go through the week.
All right, now I'ma calm down. Son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that puff. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
And how the